What if I told you the key to unlocking immense wealth, incredible success, maybe a life you barely dare to dream of right now? What if that key isn't out there somewhere, but it's actually locked inside you, just waiting?
That's the core idea, isn't it? That this amazing power source, this potential for abundance, it's already within us. We just need to learn how to tap into it, how to direct it.
Exactly. And that's what we're really going to dive deep into today. We're looking at these principles, these techniques that suggest you can literally shape your reality, attract the good stuff, the success, the wealth, by focusing your own mental energy.
Right. It's moving beyond just thinking about things. It's about understanding your mind as a creative force, not just a processor, but an actual engine for creating tangible results out there in the world.
Okay, let's unpack that. The mind as a creative force, you said an engine, or maybe like a mint, like stamping out reality instead of coins.
Yeah, I like that analogy. A cosmic mint. And what it's minting, is based on the thoughts, the dominant images, the beliefs you feed into it. Those are the dyes, the templates it uses.
So it's not just random thoughts passing through, it's the ones you focus on, the ones you give energy to.
Precisely. And the real powerhouse behind this mint, the engine driving it, is your subconscious mind. Think of your conscious mind, like the manager deciding what orders to place.
Okay.
But the subconscious, that's the massive, tireless factory floor that just executes nonstop. So if you want different results, different coins from your mint, you got to change the instructions going to the factory floor. You have to program that subconscious.
Right, programming the subconscious. So how does that start? What's the first step in feeding it the right instructions?
It really starts with daring to dream big. I mean, really big. Letting go of those perceived limitations, the I can't because stuff. You have to expand what you even allow yourself to consider possible, even if it feels like an impossible dream right now.
Because you can't create something you haven't first imagined.
Exactly. Imagination is the workshop. Visualization is the tool. You need to get in there and build a really clear, detailed picture of what you want. Not just vaguely wanting more money or success.
So like seeing the specific house, feeling the steering wheel of that car,
Yeah.
walking through the successful business you want.
Yes, all of it.
Yeah.
The sights, the sounds, the feelings. The more real and emotionally charged you make that mental image, the more powerful the blueprint you're handing over to your subconscious.
We see this throughout history, don't we? Like Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, absolutely. He visualized a flying machine centuries before it was possible. He drew it, detailed it, that powerful imaginative seed. Well, eventually, the Wright brothers helped bring it to physical form, but the vision came first.
Or those titans of industry. Conrad Hilton didn't just hope for a few hotels.
No, he held this immense vision. Hotels all around the globe. On NASA, same thing with his shipping fleet, starting from practically nothing with this huge, vivid dream he held on to. Their internal mints were working overtime on those empires.
And wasn't there that story about the young writer? Facing tough times, but used imagination.
Yeah, a great example. Instead of getting stuck in his circumstances, he created a whole world in his mind, wrote it down as a novel. He lived in that imagined success and boom, sold the movie rights for, $85,000. Tangible result from intangible imagination.
Okay, so the internal vision is paramount. How do we make sure we're consistently feeding that vision, programming it effectively? You mentioned magnetic money energizers.
Right. Think of these as specific principles or commands you use to deliberately tune your subconscious mind to the frequency of abundance. It's like installing the right software for success.
So what are some of these energizers? How do they work?
Well, one fundamental one is just consciously deciding to elevate your thinking, choosing possibility over limitation, making that big dream not just a wish, but your baseline operating assumption.
Okay, choosing possibility. What else?
Another is tapping into what some call higher forces, not necessarily religious, but acknowledging you're part of a bigger system, aligning yourself with the flow of universal abundance, believing it's there for you instead of fighting upstream against scarcity. It's about understanding that imagination itself is a kind of cosmic law.
The cosmic law of imagination. And what about this $1,000,000 consciousness idea? How does that energize things?
That's a powerful one. It's about shifting your perception right now. Stop defining wealth only by your bank balance. Look around, see the public parks as your vast estates, libraries as millions in knowledge available to you, public transport, that's your personal limousine service taking you anywhere.
So feeling rich with what's already available changes your vibe.
Exactly. It tunes you to abundance. You feel resourceful, you feel wealthy in a broader sense, and that feeling acts like a magnet for more tangible wealth. It's also about, soaking up knowledge, art, music, finance, whatever expands you. This increases your value, your capacity.
Makes sense. Increasing your inner value attracts outer value.
And consciously mimicking the thought patterns of successful people. Study how they approach problems, how they see opportunity. Align your thinking.
And this probably means tackling those negative money beliefs head on.
Yeah.
The stuff we pick up growing up.
Oh, absolutely critical. You have to root out those limiting ideas. Money is bad. I don't deserve it. It's hard to come by. Replace them. Understand money is just a tool, a neutral tool. And having it brings responsibility, yes, but also the power to do enormous good.
So correcting the internal narrative.
Yes, and part of that is also about respecting resources. Not just money, but time, energy, even food. Using things wisely, not wastefully. Conservation reflects an abundance mindset. I have enough and I use it well, while waste comes from scarcity thinking.
And what about emotions? How do they fit into this programming?
Emotions are the fuel. Positive emotions, faith, expectation, intense desire, joy, love. They supercharge the subconscious programming. They're like the electricity making the magnet work. Trying to attract good things while feeling fearful or doubtful. It just doesn't work. It's like mixing oil and water.
Got it. So positive emotion is key. What about feeling limited by, say, your background, education, family, where you started?
That's a huge hurdle for many. The energizer here is truly embracing the idea. What others have done, you can do too. Look at the stories. People starting with nothing, building empires. Junk dealers becoming millionaires. People without college degrees achieving massive success.
Their circumstances didn't define their potential.
Exactly. It's about rock-solid faith in yourself, in your unique talents, in your core beliefs, no matter what the outside world looks like or where you came from. Inspire yourself with truth, honesty, idealism. Know that you can create value.
Okay, this internal work, the mint, the visualizing, the programming, it sounds incredibly powerful. But it's not just wishful thinking, is it? There's more to it.
Not at all. It's the foundation, the essential first step, but it absolutely must be paired with action, taking outward steps in the real world.
Right. The mental blueprint needs a construction crew.
Perfect analogy. Action is the bridge. It's what takes the inner vision and makes it manifest. And crucially, this involves perseverance, persistence. You try, you might stumble, you get back up, you adjust, you keep going until you break through.
Can you give an example of how action follows the inner work?
Sure. Think about that veteran wanting to go to college but feeling blocked by money. The inner work was the desire, maybe visualizing himself graduating, but the action was simply picking up the phone, inquiring about VA benefits. That small step unlocked everything.
Or the widow who increased her income.
Same idea. She had the need, the desire for more stability. The action was contacting Social Security, just finding out what she was entitled to. Simple steps, but they came from that internal drive and led to real results.
And inventions, like the paint roller. That wasn't just a flash of genius, right?
Definitely not. That inventor had the idea, sure, the visualization perhaps. But then came endless action, trying designs, failing, tweaking, persisting, trying again and again until he nailed it. Same with Arnold Baker's or Carvel ice cream stories of relentless effort, enthusiasm, and just not giving up. Action, perseverance, enthusiasm, that combo is potent.
So it's about the doing, but also the mindset behind the doing.
Yeah.
Which brings us to habits, right? Building positive mental habits around all this.
Yes, exactly. This isn't a one-time fix. It's about cultivating ongoing habits, like developing money awareness, really being conscious of how money flows in and out of your life.
Like Rockefeller keeping that little ledger as a kid.
Precisely. That wasn't just bookkeeping. It was building a habit of awareness, respect, and control around money, embedding it deep in his subconscious early on. It's about conscious management, not stinginess.
And you mentioned the law of transmutation, changing bad habits.
Right. This is huge.
Right.
Recognizing those negative patterns, procrastination, fear, laziness, whatever holds you back, and consciously, deliberately replacing them with the positive opposite. It takes effort, focused effort. But you can literally transmute those base metals of bad habits into the gold of empowering ones.
Like turning lead into gold, but inside yourself.
You got it. And alongside that is developing what's called magnificent obsession. Now, this doesn't mean being unbalanced, but having this intense, focused concentration on your primary goal, a burning desire.
So really zeroing in.
Yes. When you pour your mental energy into that one big aim, your subconscious works on it constantly behind the scenes. It starts pointing out solutions, attracting opportunities related to that obsession that you just wouldn't have noticed otherwise.
Which leads nicely into the next idea that this internal work actually starts attracting help and opportunities from the outside.
It absolutely does. Your inner state creates an outer magnetism. When you cultivate that positive attitude, when you develop genuine belief in what you're doing, that super persuasion, and just maintain a generally pleasant, confident demeanor, people are drawn to that energy.
People want to be around positive, successful feeling people.
They really do. And this can open unexpected doors, like that story of the young lawyer and his wife.
Joining the church in the wealthier neighborhood.
Yeah. They didn't go asking for handouts. They just put themselves in an environment, participated, shared their positive energy, and naturally connected with influential people who recognized the husband's potential and wanted to help. Strategic positioning based on shared interests or community.
It's also about where you spend your time, maybe. Hobbies, events.
Could be. Putting yourself in places where you might connect with people who share your goals or who have achieved what you aspire to. And simple things matter too, like extra courtesy.
Like the young woman who impressed Fannie Hurst.
Exactly. Just by going the extra mile, showing genuine courtesy and service, she attracted powerful mentorship. Or even just asking successful people for advice, it's flattering, shows respect, and can lead to them becoming invested in helping you.
So connections can come from conscious effort, but sometimes guidance feels different, more internal, like intuition or hunches.
Yes, that's another layer.
Yeah.
Developing your intuition, those higher psychic centers. There's this concept of a psychic money bank, like an unseen reservoir of ideas, guidance, solutions that you can tap into through inner listening, through quiet contemplation.
Like an internal advisor.
Kind of. Think of Bernard Baruch in the stock market. He used analysis, sure, but he famously relied on strong intuitive hunches that made him millions. Or the woman who just felt she should enter that cake contest.
And won the big prize.
Right. Following that seemingly random impulse, that hunch, it's presented as accessing this inner guidance system.
Yeah.
There's also this image of a psychic money siphon.
Okay, what's that?
It's a visualization technique. Seeing yourself effortlessly drawing in the resources, ideas, help you need from all over, like the ingredients for your breakfast just seem to arrive from around the globe.
Yeah.
It's about trusting that what you need can be drawn to you when your inner state is aligned.
All right, so we've covered the mind is a mint. Visualizing, programming, action, habits, intuition. Let's get really practical. What are some specific techniques people can actually do to start magnetizing money and success?
Okay, yeah, let's nail down some techniques. One is interesting. It's psychological but effective. Using simulated money, like literally printing out fake bills that look real, or writing yourself a check for, say, $1 million.
And carrying it around.
Yeah, carrying it in your wallet, seeing it, touching it. It starts to normalize the idea of having larger sums. It builds that consciousness of wealth, makes it feel less foreign, more achievable.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Vision boards, essentially. What's sometimes called a money scrapbook of destiny or a treasure chest. You gather images of the specific things you desire, the house, the car, the travel, the lifestyle, and you look at them regularly.
Imprinting those images onto the subconscious.
Exactly. It keeps the visualization sharp and fuels that psychic money siphon we talked about. Another powerful one is the law of the double return.
Double return. How does that work?
It's about the energy you put out with money. When you spend money, you consciously bless it. You see it circulating out into the world, doing good, and then returning to you multiplied. Or you apply it through cosmic bookkeeping, visualizing your needs being met and exceeded, trusting in this universal flow of increase.
Like that woman who saw significant returns quickly using this.
Yes. The example given is attracting much more value than expected in just a couple of months by consciously applying this principle, visualizing the source and the return. It builds expectation.
And projection. The cosmic law of projection.
That's about actively sending out your mental images. Once you have that clear vision, you consciously project it, release it out into the universe, trusting that this mental broadcast is a key step in bringing it into physical form, like sending out a signal.
Okay. And what about simpler things, like affirmations?
Definitely. Using specific money chants or positive affirmations, repeating statements like, money flows to me easily and abundantly, or I am worthy of wealth and success. especially during quiet times, meditation maybe. It directly combats old limiting beliefs and installs the new abundant programming.
It feels like underlying all of this, every technique, every principle, there's one essential ingredient.
Absolutely, and that is belief, faith. It's non-negotiable.
Believing is receiving.
That's the law as presented here. You must cultivate unwavering faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your abilities, faith that these principles work, faith in a responsive universe that is inherently abundant.
The idea being that abundance is the natural state, right?
Yeah.
And scarcity is what, man-made.
Pretty much. The perspective is that the universe is overflowing with resources, created for everyone. Shortages often come from our own limitations. Fear, ignorance, poor management, holding on to lack consciousness. Abundance is the default setting, we just have to tune into it.
And that belief works both ways. Worrying can attract the negative.
It's the flip side of the coin. Constant worry about misfortune, dwelling on lack, fearing the worst, that energy also shapes reality. It reinforces negative expectations and can, according to these principles, literally attract the things you fear, like that cautionary tale of the man who worried his family sick.
So faith is the active antidote to worry.
It really is. It's choosing to focus your powerful mental energy on what you want to create, not on what you're afraid might happen.
So bringing it all together, the mind as this creative mint, dreaming big, programming the subconscious, taking persistent action, building those positive habits, attracting help, listening to intuition, using specific techniques. It all comes back to mastering this incredible force within your own mind.
That's the essence of it. The power to shape your financial destiny, your success, your abundance. It starts right between your ears. It's about consciously deciding what kind of reality you're going to mint today. Are you minting coins of doubt and limitation, or golden nuggets of possibility and success?
So the question for you listening is, what golden nugget, what incredible vision is waiting inside your subconscious right now? What possibility are you ready to unleash? And maybe more importantly, what's one small concrete step you can take, maybe even today, to start programming your internal mint and begin stamping out the richer destiny you truly desire?